And it's not protectionist, it's pro-worker. It's really not protectionist. We've had people ripping our country for years, decades, destroying. You look outside, you see all the hulks, you see the empty.
All right, guys, welcome on back to TK's Garage. I already know, so let me just say this before we even get started. You do not have to like the candidates that are running for president, but I can tell you straight up, I'm a registered libertarian. I'm not a registered Republican. I'm not a registered Democrat. I grew up in Boston. I grew up a Kennedy Democrat, okay? We're not tolerating the dumb crap in the comments. If you can't make a concise, intelligent argument in the comments when I'm going to talk about what we're talking about today, then there's going to be a very simple thing that's going to happen. We're going to do what I think most of the people that are going to complain about this video do, and that is they shouldn't be able to say that online. They shouldn't be able to do that online. Let me park so I can do this video. They shouldn't be able to say stuff like that online. We need to take away their ability to talk like that on the internet. Now, full disclosure, I didn't mention any specific party, so if you get salty and the shoe fits, lace that mother effer up and wear them shits. All right? So, breaking news. Now, this came out because he had already released comments on this earlier, and somebody from Reuters, I guess, had already asked Carlos Tavares that if the tax rate was cut to 15%, and now I just heard former president and current candidate for president Trump say that he would make the corporate tax rate for anybody that builds cars in the United States 15%. Not 30, not 21. I don't know. I think it's back at 30 now, right? Because it was 20 something. Maybe it's back at 30. But cutting it to 15%, I think that's why Reuters did pose the question to Carlos Tavares on would they move the headquarters there. Don't get it twisted. If all of the sudden Carlos Tavares starts talking about making their headquarters here in America permanently. So he did say that he was going to put heavier tariffs on automobiles that are not made in the United States. He did say, and I know that they were talking about, well, what if a vehicle, because they had the USMCA agreement, what if a vehicle is made in Mexico? Does that count? And he said very specifically, if the vehicles are manufactured in the United States, in Detroit, 15% tax rate. Holy crap. Can you say it? Now look, love him, hate him, this guy's evil, bad orange man. It doesn't matter to me. The thing that matters to me the most are people's jobs. You know, one thing that I can tell you for sure, if you're not paying attention, I do know that Sean Fain is a huge Kamala Harris supporter. I know this. But the rank and file UAW members, they're not. In fact, you know, they did talk about the Teamsters. Is it 64% of the rank and file polled said they were voting for the Republican candidate this time? That's insane for a union. I'm just saying, that's insane. It seems like the parties, I'm just looking at this as an outside observer. It looks like the parties have flipped, right? Democrats were always the party of the middle class and working for smaller workers and trying to protect people's jobs and things of that nature, right? Yet we don't hear any of that coming from that party anymore. And what we're hearing on the Republican side, which shocks the hell out of me because I'm in my 40s. I've heard these arguments. How all of a sudden did the Republican Party become the party of no new wars, protect the middle class, tax cuts, which they've always been a part of tax cuts, but having tax cuts, tariffs, which has always been a Democrat thing. Like, this is insane. Now, part of this might be because if you don't know, Donald Trump was a Democrat in the 70s and the 80s. He was a very much known declared Democrat. Donated to Hillary, donated to Chuck Schumer. This is they only funded Jesse Jackson's campaign, only turned on him when he said he was going to be a Republican, when he flipped. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But I digress. It's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see what Stellantis does, because if they say that they get a 15% tax rate, they're not getting that tax rate anywhere else in the world. I mean, unless they was, we're going to move our headquarters to Ireland. You're not building cars there. Like, where else are you going to go where you can get that low of a tax rate? Breaks, incentives, probably subsidies. Who knows? I thought this was interesting, breaking news. I thought it was also interesting to see Reuters pose the question. But I believe Tavares' answer was, we'll have to see what happens in the election, right? We'll see what happens in the election. I have a feeling that Stellantis does a complete 180 if Trump wins. Meaning, all of that cafe standards crap, all of that stuff gets cut, goes away. I think Stellantis makes a complete 180 with the new CEO, and they go back to making stuff that people actually want. Oh, I know the comments are going to be a shit show. I already know it. But I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care what you think about me. If you think I'm a Trump supporter or a Kamala supporter or a Kennedy, I don't give a shit. I don't care. The fact that we can't even have a civil conversation in this country anymore, as somebody that's a defense contractor and is around weapons of war every single day, and I see them every single day. If you're on my Instagram, you know exactly what I do. It's very interesting to me to see the discourse between both sides in this country right now. Because, I mean, I just laugh about it. Because I'm like, people are stupid. I don't know. People are dumb. Used to be able to talk about politics and just disagree. Not anymore, I guess. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, we don't normally talk politics over here. But when you're talking about cutting the effective tax rate of an automotive company, people that build cars and trucks, to 15%, that's huge news. Stay petty, my friends. Whoopee!